Arrivals by boat to Isabela all dock at the Muelle, where it's less than a kilometer's walk into town. But already visitors will be entranced at the plenitude of sea lions and penguins playing in the shallow water. This is also a great snorkeling launch point, and full gear can be rented for around $5 a day in town. Isabela is hands down the most tranquila island in the archipelago, with a long white sand beach that stretches across the horizon. Walking out of Puerto Villamil, the 5-kilometer trail begins for Los Humedales, or the Wetlands, and ends at the Wall of Tears. The wetland walk will bring you to various small lagunas, hidden beaches, and plenty of mangrove areas. Here, a side trail leads to La Playita, a small hidden beach void of people but occupied by the usual Galápagos residents. Walking in the middle of the day is a surefire way to get beat down by the rays of the fierce equatorial sun, so bring plenty of protection and water. Isabela was a penal colony between 1946 and 59. El Muro de las Lágrimas, the Wall of Tears, was built by prisoners stone by stone from lava rock as part of their deliberate and cruel punishment, claiming the lives of thousands. After a decade and a half of torture, they hijacked a foreign yacht and escaped to the northern coast of Ecuador. Now it stands as a memorial. It is said that cries can be heard emanating from the heavy energy at this site, hence the name. If it's flamingos you're after, no need to venture far out of the town center, as there are 2 main lagunas where you can see some of the bright pink birds, which achieve such a brilliant coat of color due to shrimp and other larvae that they feed on. These crustaceans contain carotenoids, the pigment responsible for their beautiful pink plumage.
You just have to realize that the majority of this hike is through the same scenery like this. A lot of ferns and through a lot of the mist. Not much visibility until you get down by the caldera. So it's not, I hate to say it, but it's not a very interesting hike. Definitely something I wouldn't feel spending 3 figures on. But when you get to the destination, it is something quite unique.
The hike to the volcano and back is said to take 12 hours. We did it in under 7, but that was mostly non-stop hard walking with about 1 hour on top to enjoy and have lunch. Keep in mind, national park rules deem it necessary to go with a guide, which means booking a costly tour back in town as long as there's a minimum number of people. It's not as popular as the Sierra Negra tour and can be hard to find that minimum. But we tried our luck going independently and were able to talk the ranger at the gate into going with us, since he's actually never been himself. Back in town, there's a boardwalk trail leading to the Centro de Crianza, a tortoise nursery and rearing center. There are almost 1,000 tortoises here, mainly from the 5 different volcanoes of Isabela Island.
This is a 1 year, 25 years, and then 150.
Up to 15 subspecies of Galapagos tortoises have been identified, but only 11 survive to this day, 5 of them on the volcanoes of Isabela. During the times of pirates, buccaneers, and adventurers, seamen would haul these giants on board and use them for food. The tortoises can live for a year without fresh water and much food, making it a perfect source for fresh meat for sailors. The total population went from about 250,000 in the 16th century to just 3,000 in the 1970s. Without the center, it is likely that many of these species would go extinct. The parish of Christ the Savior is one example of many on the islands that incorporate the local flora and fauna into their interior and exterior decoration. Even stories depicting volcanic eruptions are painted inside the church walls. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without the Galapagos tortoise. Night falls on Isabela. The Christmas lights are up and the dirt streets are generally quiet. A little bit of peace to enjoy just days before the crowds will arrive during the high holiday season.